Welcome. Seekers of mystery and history, today we embark on a journey across deserts, ancient ruins, and sacred legends, tracing the elusive path of the Ark of the Covenant. From Jerusalem to Babylon, Rome to Ethiopia, we follow the footsteps of those who dared to seek it. Though the Ark itself remains hidden, its stories and mysteries await us. Prepare to uncover ancient secrets, explore forgotten inscriptions, and feel the echoes of a legend that has inspired humanity for millennia. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video as we uncover ancient secrets together. The Call of the Mystery. Alex was a young archaeologist who had dedicated his life to ancient texts and the traces of lost treasures. Since childhood, he had been fascinated by historical maps, old manuscripts, and especially lost sacred relics. But no adventure had ever excited him as much as the pursuit of the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark was more than a sacred chest. It was a symbol of the covenant between God and Moses, believed to hold a hidden connection between heaven and earth. Inside, it contained the stone tablets of the Ten Commandments, and its gold-plated surface and two cherubim reflected both God's mercy and wrath. Legends claimed that the Ark was not just a physical object, but a spiritual force, punishing those who approached it with impure intentions. For years, Alex had studied these mysteries. Ancient temple ruins, inscriptions, secret notes from priests, and legends across different cultures all offered clues to the Ark's lost location. Jerusalem, Babylon, Rome, Ethiopia, each civilization had sought the Ark, yet none had succeeded. One morning, a mysterious letter arrived at Alex's desk from an old library. The letter contained a map based on historical records and secret notes from priests pointing to tunnels beneath the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem, where the Ark had supposedly been hidden before the Babylonian conquest. Alex's heart raced. At last, the clue he had been searching for was in his hands. After a brief preparation, Alex set off for Jerusalem. The city was steeped in history and sacred mystery. Stone streets, temple ruins, ancient tombstones. He could almost hear the echoes of the past with every step. Carefully studying the map, Alex made his way to the area of the temple ruins. At the entrance to the tunnels, he paused. The legends warned that the Ark was not merely a physical object. It would only reveal itself to those with pure intent and courage. Taking a deep breath, he stepped into the darkness. The tunnels were dark and damp, with moss clinging to the walls and old inscriptions carved centuries ago. Quotations from the Old Testament, sacred symbols, and notes left by ancient priests lined the stone corridors. Some symbols represented spiritual guardians meant to protect the Ark. Alex examined each marking carefully. A wrong move, according to the legends, could bring disaster. As he delved deeper, Alex never actually saw the Ark, yet its presence and energy seemed to fill the tunnels. Touching a stone wall, he seemed to hear whispered words from the ancient priests. The pure of heart and true of intention may glimpse the mercy cover. To claim it depends on the courage of the seeker. Alex could feel the Ark's aura. The golden cherubim, as described in the legend, seemed to emanate a silent, almost palpable energy throughout the passage. But the real Ark itself remained unseen. Its power and mystery tested him not through possession, but through the pursuit of knowledge, insight, and reverence. Following the tunnels, Alex traced the Ark's path across Babylon, Rome, and Ethiopia. Ancient maps, inscriptions, and priestly notes connected him to a story that spanned millennia. He knew he would never actually hold the Ark, yet each step brought him closer to history, legend, and the spiritual echoes of faith itself. Traces across time. Alex left Jerusalem with a growing sense of purpose. Though the Ark itself remained hidden, every inscription, every legend, and every whispered story seemed to pull him forward. He carried copies of ancient maps, scribbled notes from the old library, and fragments of manuscripts describing the Ark's last known locations. His first stop was Babylon, the city that had destroyed the Temple of Solomon centuries ago. Among the ruins of ancient ziggurats, Alex searched for clues left by priests who may have hidden the Ark from invading armies. Local historians told tales of secret chambers buried under layers of sand, where sacred objects had been concealed. Alex combed through crumbling walls and collapsed passageways, feeling the weight of history pressing down. Though he found no physical trace of the Ark, he uncovered fragments of inscriptions hinting at rituals performed to protect its sacred energy. Some inscriptions described the Ark as a living vessel, a conduit of divine power that could only be approached with reverence. These words fascinated Alex. He realized the Ark's influence wasn't just physical, it was symbolic, spiritual, and timeless. From Babylon, Alex traveled to Rome, following stories preserved by chroniclers and monks. Medieval texts suggested that during the Roman conquests, priests had attempted to smuggle the Ark into secret sanctuaries. Some accounts were clearly exaggerated. Whispers of the Ark appearing in visions of lightning striking those who dared approach, of golden cherubim flying across the skies. But Alex treated them as cultural markers of belief. These legends revealed how deeply the Ark had impacted human imagination. In Rome, Alex explored abandoned monasteries and hidden vaults beneath churches. In dusty chambers, he found drawings depicting the Ark surrounded by angels, and notes suggesting that even touching the Ark without the proper intention could bring disaster. Alex shivered as he read one warning repeatedly, inscribed in Latin. Who seeks the holy without purity shall see calamity. He who seeks with heart untainted may glimpse the unseen. Next, Alex followed the trail to Ethiopia, where the Ark was said to reside in the city of Axum. Local priests claimed their ancestors had guarded it for generations. Alex was not allowed to see the Ark itself, only to hear the stories. Sitting among the elders in a dimly lit church, he listened as they recounted miracles, disasters, and divine interventions linked to the Ark. One priest described how, during battles centuries ago, the Ark had been moved to secret locations, and how its mere presence influenced both soldiers and kings. Another spoke of a child who had been guided by visions to a hidden chapel where the Ark's energy had protected the community from famine. Alex realized that the Ark's real power lay not in its physical form, but in the faith, reverence, and stories it inspired. Despite days of searching, Alex never saw the Ark. Yet each tale, each fragment of historical evidence, and each whispered legend enriched his understanding. He began to notice a pattern. The Ark left traces not just in stone and gold, but in human memory, culture, and belief. His quest became less about possession and more about understanding the Ark's place in history and the human heart. One evening, atop a hill overlooking Axum, Alex reflected on his journey. The sun set in fiery streaks over ancient stone, and he imagined the Ark somewhere below, hidden, sacred, untouchable. Its mysteries stretched across continents and centuries, weaving together faith, power, and human imagination. He understood now that the Ark was not a prize to be claimed, but a story to be followed, a challenge of intellect, faith, and perseverance. Every inscription, every tale, every legend was a piece of a puzzle that human civilization had been trying to solve for millennia, and Alex, as a seeker, had joined the ranks of countless others who had walked the same path. The Ark's location remained elusive, but Alex felt closer than ever to its essence. The journey had transformed him. He no longer sought the Ark to hold it in his hands. Instead, he sought to trace its influence, honor its legend, and share its stories with the world. The endless pursuit. Alex left Ethiopia with a profound sense of humility. The Ark had revealed itself to him only through stories, whispers of history, and sacred inscriptions. Each account he collected, Babylonian fragments, Roman chronicles, Ethiopian oral traditions, added layers to a mystery that spanned millennia. The Ark was elusive, yet its influence was unmistakable. His next path took him to remote regions of the Sinai and the Judean wilderness, where scholars believed ancient priests had once hidden sacred objects. The desert was harsh and unforgiving, with winds that swept away footprints as quickly as they were made. Alex trekked for days, following the faintest traces of human passage, ruined altars, symbols carved into stone, and dried remnants of incense burned in long-forgotten rituals. In one secluded canyon, he discovered a wall etched with enigmatic symbols resembling cherubim wings, remarkably similar to the descriptions of the Ark's guardians. The inscriptions hinted at a philosophy. The Ark was not just a container, but a mirror of humanity's faith and intentions. Alex realized that those who sought it without respect or humility were warned away by calamities recorded in history, while those who approached with reverence left changed in profound ways. As he followed these traces, Alex met a series of people whose lives had been touched by the legends of the Ark. A hermit in a cave described visions of golden light and a presence that could not be grasped, only felt. A local historian recounted medieval tales of crusaders who had searched for the Ark and vanished, their ambitions outstripped by forces they could not comprehend. Even the winds seemed to carry whispers of the Ark's stories, reminding Alex that the quest itself was a sacred test. Alex began to understand a central truth. The Ark's power lay not in its physical form, but in the human experience of seeking it. Every ruin he explored, every story he recorded, every sacred symbol he traced, was a reflection of humanity's longing for divine connection. The Ark had shaped civilizations not because it could be possessed, but because it inspired courage, reverence, and introspection. In the final stretch of his journey, Alex returned to Jerusalem, not to the temple ruins, but to the ancient library where it all began. Surrounded by centuries of accumulated wisdom, he pieced together a map of the Ark's spiritual journey across time, from the hands of Moses, through the halls of Solomon, hidden from Babylonian invaders, whispered about in Rome, and guarded in Ethiopia. Each stop revealed how deeply the Ark had influenced human belief, culture, and imagination. Sitting in the quiet library, Alex reflected on his experiences. He had traveled across continents, faced deserts, ruins, and ancient tunnels, yet the Ark had remained unseen. But that was the essence of its mystery. The Ark was not meant to be found as a treasure or artifact. It was meant to guide, to challenge, and to inspire. He realized that his quest had transformed him. The pursuit of the Ark had sharpened his understanding of history, deepened his empathy for those who had protected or revered it, and awakened a spiritual awareness that no tangible object could provide. He had become a guardian of its story, a witness to its enduring power across time and cultures. As the sun set over Jerusalem, Alex looked toward the horizon with a quiet sense of fulfillment. The Ark's physical form remained a secret, hidden somewhere in the shadows of history, but its presence was everywhere, in the legends he had gathered, in the stories he would tell, and in the hearts of those who had dared to seek it. The Ark's mystery endured, timeless and unclaimed. And so did Alex, forever a seeker, forever walking the path of curiosity, reverence, and wonder.